Going on, dudes and dudettes? Happy Throwback Thursday. So I'm gonna go through the past, want to say between 2014 to 2017 of players who have and did commit to USC, but for some reason they're not on the team, whether it's legal issues or transferring. And to me, this is the big reason why USC at sometimes comes up short in their season, especially in the past where there just wasn't enough people around. And it just sucks when it comes to when college players decide to not want to be at the school, or they get suspended or kicked off the team, because then you can't really just get like a draft pick in for them or trade them away to get another few players back. That's not how college works, and these teams kind of suffer, and USC has definitely suffered when it comes to this type of stuff. And I've just gone through to see that yes, Clay Helton, T. Martin, all them, they do recruit really well, but at times also when I think it leads more towards the guys that T. Martin goes after, that they have been a lot of bad eggs. And I'll just go through, there's about 20 guys on here that are game changers that I think we've missed out on, and you guys will definitely see what I'm talking about on how USC could have been a whole lot better if these guys would have stayed on. So let's keep going, fight on, and let's get the show started. Okay, so we're going to start with the USC 2014 football commits. National rank, they were number 10 overall, which is really awesome. And their Pac-12 rank was number 1, obviously. And you look at the guys who were there at that time, all these guys would have graduated last year, but I'm just going back to then because a lot of important guys that are now off the team or were off the team very early at that time would have made a big impact. Obviously, all these guys were great. Adoree Jackson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Damian Mama, and Vianney Talamaeva on the offensive line. All these guys, there were no problems with. These were the top 4 guys in that class. Got no complaints about them, but let's get into the few guys that were complaints when it all started back in 2014. Rashid Johnson, 4-star out of Long Beach, California, wide receiver. Larry Toileta, 2-star quarterback out of Honolulu, Hawaii. So Rashid Johnson ends up transferring to San Jose State due to playing time. Just kind of figured he's a 4-star guy, that he'd have enough time and availability to play for USC, but he just obviously wasn't good enough. Don't know what his future's been like since then. Hope all is well, and it just shows that when you give scholarships to these highly talented guys, 4 or 5-star guys, and then they have to leave just because they're not good enough, it just shows how good the competition was. But then he could have used that pick on somebody else, maybe at a different position, that would have helped. So Larry was a 2-sport athlete coming out of Hawaii, played football as a quarterback and then volleyball as well. So he played both at USC, but I believe he became homesick and decided to transfer back to Hawaii, I believe the University of Hawaii, and decided to continue his career there. And just shows another, once again, a wasted roster spot, especially on a 2-star guy that we didn't probably know we were officially going to end up getting a lot of playing time from, but once again, here's another mistake. Jalen Green, dual threat quarterback, 3-star out of Gardena, California. Lamont Simmons, 3-star cornerback out of Jacksonville, Florida. So Jalen Green was a 3-star quarterback coming out of Sarah, pretty prominent school down here. That's where Adoree Jackson also came from. But he tried to play quarterback for, I believe, his first 2 seasons, even redshirting one of those, but just too many talented quarterbacks at USC, so he transferred or transitioned into being a wide receiver. Did that for the next 2 years of playing time, but just wasn't getting enough playing time. Of course, there's just too many more dynamic types of wide receivers at USC and more consistent. So he eventually transferred to Utah State this very past year, and obviously due to playing time. So good luck to him. I don't know how good he's doing, but as I know what he, as a receiver for USC, he just wasn't that good. Sorry, buddy. So Lamont Simmons, a 3-star cornerback, transferred to Georgia Tech for playing time. Don't know much about him, but once again, another 3-star guy we lost out to. Don Hill, 3-star defensive end out of Boise, Idaho. John Plattenberg, cornerback, 3-star out of Houston, Texas. And Bryce Dixon, tight end, 4-star out of Ventura, California. So Don Hill, the 3-star defensive end, he gets involved in some sexually, let me just read it real quick. Suspended for sexual assault charges where he wasn't officially charged, along with another player from USC that's coming in the next year, 2015, that we'll talk about. Obviously, it was a big blow to lose 2 guys, especially the guy that's in 2015, because he was a more highly rated player than this Don Hill character. I believe they did some stuff in even another state, so they could have been charged at both places. For some reason they weren't. They got away with it, or just not enough evidence or something like that. And I guess they just pretty much got suspended. I don't know what this guy has been doing. He hasn't returned at all. So yeah, some pretty big devastating news. A big blow to USC. All right, so John Plattenberg, the 3-star cornerback out of Texas, he ends up retiring right before his senior season due to health reasons and most likely due to concussions. Kind of sucks because he was becoming one of my favorite players when he was a junior, and I had a lot of high hopes for him when he was going to go to the NFL, but looks like he is doing well, is doing his own stuff, did graduate, so that's cool for him. And then the very last guy of the 2014 class that didn't live up to the hype, Bryce Dixon, the tight end. His was a bit more serious than Plattenberg's. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison for multiple robberies. It's just tough because at that time USC was going through a lot of tight ends, and we needed a few guys. Even now, right now, it seems like they're either not healthy or either transferred as well, or not really playing up to their 4 or 5-star status. But that's why you recruit really well, and I know next year we'll have a few guys coming in that are 4-star guys that look really good, and they're looking really promising right now in high school. All right, on to the 2015 USC football commits. National rank number 2, which is great. Pac-12 rank obviously number 1. Top 4 guys on that class: Amon Marshall, Rasheem Green, Chuma Edoga, Osa Messina. Obviously, I'm going to talk about Osa Messina. Very big thing that happened with him. Chuma Edoga, I'm kind of really not high on, just because I think he's really underperformed, but that's all I got to say about that. Alrighty, I'm going to try to do these a bit quicker just because of how long I see the video might become. And plus, there are not as many guys in the next 3 years coming up. So Roy Hemsley, offensive tackle, 3-star out of Los Angeles, California. Noah Jefferson, 4-star defensive end out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Yakili Ross, 4-star cornerback out of Riverside, California. Ricky Town, 4-star quarterback out of Ventura, California. Osa Messina, 5-star outside linebacker out of Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay, so Roy Hemsley, the 3-star offensive tackle, he ended up transferring to Arizona State University. He's there right now. I believe he has 2 more years of eligibility. He did it because of playing time, and he was homesick as well. He's in Arizona State. They had that big upset against Michigan State, so hopefully he was a part of that. That's cool. Noah Jefferson, the 4-star defensive end out of Las Vegas. He had a lot of injuries, and academics led him to transfer to a JUCO college, which is a junior college for people who don't know. And then now he's going to be enrolling at Florida Atlantic. I believe, I don't know if it's this coming season or the next season after this is when he'll have playing time. But of course, the old connection of Lane Kiffin being down there. I'm pretty sure that's why he got the opportunity to go there. And Yakili Ross, the cornerback, he's been in more recent news. He just actually got officially granted the graduate transfer. So he said he was going to plan to transfer because of the depth chart results, and there was fighting during practice that involved him, but in his final statement, he said he wasn't like that or didn't start any of the fights, so we don't really officially know, but all we do know is that he is officially transferring. Ricky Town, the quarterback, 4-star guy, at the time he was more highly ranked than Sam Darnold, who was the number 3 overall pick in this last year's draft and is 1-1 in the NFL right now as a starter for the New York Jets. But because of how good Sam Darnold was at the time, and Max Brown was there, a 5-star guy who was there before, but don't get me started on Max Brown. That was a whole experiment gone wrong. But Ricky Town did transfer to Arkansas. And then after a while, you didn't hear nothing about him playing at all or getting the starting job. And then just this recent year, he did transfer to Pittsburgh, of all places. And it's kind of funny too, because Max Brown, the guy who ended up losing the starting job to Sam Darnold, ended up transferring to Pittsburgh as well. So I guess that's where USC quarterbacks go for more playing time. And then Osa Messina, like I mentioned him earlier, he was with Don Hill, that defensive end from the year before, but he got suspended for the sexual assault charges that were eventually dropped, and then he didn't return as well, and I haven't heard any news of him transferring to any schools or continuing to play college football or even in the NFL as well. So shows how much just in 1 year a lot of these guys that could still be playing right now, whether seniors or juniors, and they're all gone. It sucks a lot. Now for the 2016 USC football commits, national rank number 10. It's great, still in the top 10. Obviously, Pac-12 rank is number 1. 4 top guys: Olawale Bitiku Jr., Jack Jones, Tyler Vaughns, Michael Pittman Jr. 2 of these guys are still doing great. 2 of these guys really underperformed, and 1 got in really bad trouble. So I'll talk about that right now. Kerry Angeline, tight end, 4-star, ex-in Pennsylvania. EJ Price, 4-star offensive tackle, Lawrenceville, Georgia. Jamel Cook, 4-star athlete, Miami, Florida. Olawale Bitiku Jr., defensive end, 5-star, out of Gardena, California. Jack Jones, 5-star cornerback, out of Long Beach, California. So Kerry Angeline, tight end, transferred to NC State due to playing time and homesickness, even though it's weird that he's from Pennsylvania and he used that as an excuse, but he went to North Carolina, and for some reason he just barely got eligibility to play. I don't know why the transfer took so long, but there you go, that's where he's gone to. EJ Price, the 4-star offensive tackle, he transferred to Kentucky due to homesickness. It just sucks when a pretty solid player like that ends up transferring. A 4-star guy definitely could have helped out the offensive line right now with that toughness. And then Jamel Cook, he was listed as an athlete, but he played corner and safety for USC. He transferred to South Carolina due to playing time, and they look like one of the surprise teams out in the SEC so far. And then we also have Olawale Bitiku Jr. He's a defensive end, a 5-star. He was one of the top rated guys for USC coming out of their class that year, the 2016 class, but due to injuries and just not living up to the hype of being like a top 40 overall player. Actually, no, he was ranked the 15th best player overall, so I even got that wrong mentally, but yeah, I remember writing it down. He was number 15 overall, and he hasn't had one bit of playing time. I don't even know if he has even more stats than 10 when it comes to tackles or even sacks over 3 years right now. it's pretty crazy, and you can see the guy. He just looks like a beast. He looks like he's already able to play in the NFL, but for some reason he just can't. Gets no playing time, can't get on the field. And then Jack Jones, the cornerback 5-star at Long Beach Poly. Juju Smith went there as well, so it's a great institution to come out of for high school players. And he was a really highly talented guy. Lon Marshall as well came out of there, but just recently there was a bunch of news earlier in this year that he was arrested for breaking and entering, and he was charged guilty, so he's been suspended the whole entire time. I do not know if he's going to have any chances to come back at all ever. Don't know how long his sentences are either. I'm pretty sure they're still ongoing. Just sucks. Really talented guy. Could have seen him playing in the NFL as well, but just a tough stretch of bad luck for a couple of these guys. Now for the USC 2017 football commits. Once again, at least top 4 national rank, and of course number 1 Pac-12 rank. Top 4 guys are Stephen Carr, Joseph Lewis, Austin Jackson, Jay Tufele. One of these guys I'm obviously going to talk about. Another one is doing just great in Austin Jackson. Both Stephen Carr and Jay Tufele both suffered back injuries going through their first year. They could have been automatic starters, and Carr was, but Tufele got hurt before the season, so I'm still giving him an opportunity to get well and get better. Stephen Carr, he's obviously back, just still not 100%, but he's still performing at a good enough level to be able to play for USC. Jaquari Godfrey, 3-star cornerback, Oakland, California. Bubba Bolden, 4-star safety, Las Vegas, Nevada. Joseph Lewis, 5-star wide receiver, Los Angeles, California. And for the very last class I'm going to look at, 2017, Jaquari Godfrey, cornerback. We know he's transferring due to playing time. We just don't know where at the moment. So we'll see how that story comes out too. Bubba Bolden, the 4-star safety out of Las Vegas. He just has not played this season even though he was listed as a starter. So that's very questionable. We just still haven't had any news. I hear reporters asking Coach Clay Helton about it, but he still won't give an answer, which sucks. And then Joseph Lewis, the 5-star wide receiver. He was charged with felony for 2 domestic violence cases, and he's still not on the team. So they haven't said he was officially kicked off or something like that, but it's pretty tough for him to come back with 2 back-to-back instances happening like that. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Just tough to see all these guys go. A lot of guys with high potential, and they're either not on the team due to playing time or just homesickness, or with the law as well, which sucks. But thanks for watching, and have a great day.